There's a person that told me there is, I just think it's a clairvoyance. He admitted to that because they diagnosed him a schizophrenic. And he said, I was sitting around a dinner table with my mom and father, and we heard the same noise or voice. So he's like, how could I be schizophrenic when they heard it as well? I mean, just even if all three of them were schizophrenics, the schizophrenia is your mind. I believe your subconscious tapping in your conscious or something like that. It's a disturbance. That's what schizophrenia part of it is. The whole thing with the voices, people hear voices, or it's like thoughts. I would imagine when you hear an actual voice, well, that's not schizophrenia. You know, that's an external force. That wasn't clairvoyance, I believe, or maybe he labeled it something else. But that's has to do with the religious. He told me about. Yeah, it's another thing. I have to look it up, Google it. But it's like archaic angels. Well, what were the things that they believed in? What they would do, and I'm just saying the people that do that are angels. But it's a supernatural power. Telepathy is the one way I named it. But telepathy is relaying mental messages. Just think about a person and relay mental messages, and in their mind, the sound resonates. You communicate with like that with those people. There's different voyances, senses, if you will. Clairvoyance, I believe, is the thoughts, hearing on people's thoughts in your mind. I believe that's it. It's not a defined sense. It's very broad, if you will. What I was experiencing there, when I was talking to him, is a sense of smell, like somebody else. I was thinking about someone. Somebody else made me smell that. That's a different kind of sense. Also, he was talking about actual possession. And I don't know how he knew, maybe communicate with that person. Maybe tapped in my mind. He remembered me, remembering somebody else, explaining my mind. It's very bizarre. But he knew someone behind you. He didn't mean literally, like someone over here where I live. I was like, how did you know that? I was told the same thing. I'm from rural New Jersey. I was told this person possessed me. It's an individual. He lives in Carteret, New Jersey. And that's another form. And I was told, the guy told me he doesn't really like it. I'm like, I know that. That's why he did that. Because I was told, like, he hated me because something I did. And he was jealous and envious, and he just wanted to get in my mind. A couple of years ago, stuff like that started happening. I started laughing. It was a mental communication. I just couldn't help laughing. It's very freaky and bizarre, I'm not embarrassed by the way. I'm not one of the people that are embarrassed. It's creepy and disturbing. I didn't do that to people. He's doing that to me, whoever that fucking person is. So he knew that. Also, I told him, I experienced that multiple times with multiple different laughters. And he already talked about that individual. I don't know if he understood that. Also, he talked about, it's a frequency. It's a frequency. The term is, what's the term? It is a physics kind of term. Not mechanics. I'm not an idiot. I haven't really studied that. It's quantum. Quantum. I just said it. It has something to do with quantum message on quantum frequency. Actually, it really is. That's the term. Like imagine your mental thoughts. If you think about just that clairvoyance, it could relay that message. It is a form of quantum physics, I believe. It's not so much abnormal, supernatural and it can be defined by science. We have a brain and mind. It does produce, I don't say electricity, but neurons. I don't know if there's something with neurons. Anything that has even a thought could be a spark, and it could be picked up, like mind readers. There was always mind readers. Well, this is, a lot of people are their mind readers. I have thoughts, and they actually interject with my thoughts. And sometimes I think in pictures and video of an event. I don't mean to, but just, it's like I think of a random thing, and people interject in that. They communicate with me like that. It's very disturbing. It's actually one of the reasons I can't get anything done. And this started happening a couple years ago. Before that, I experienced something else like that. People that will ask you your cell phone, but they know your cell phone number, and even if you're like, I'll text you my cell phone, they don't care about it. It's like they want to possess or have an identity of you. Also with emails, I believe people do that as well. But cell phone is the easiest thing. And I know it's like, I don't know if they could tap in your mind, but if they could, I don't know, they could sense your mind if you allow them and you give them your cell phone number. It's very creepy and disturbing. It's like, who can you trust to give your number now? It's very odd, but that happened to me years ago. I just couldn't talk to anybody. The people I knew made fun of that, and they knew what was going on. They understood that. They just liked for me to be bothered by it. And it's very I don't know. It's like it's just not something natural that I want for myself. You know? Like I imitate people by joking around. A lot of times I channel people. I don't even know who they were. I know I have dreams, subconscious sim. I stop uploading them, but yesterday I had a dream. 2 days ago, I could take a nap, hour and a half, and I have a dream about somebody's life and minuscule either awkwardness things they do or abnormalities or like nothing too intelligent that they do in their life. Something minimal and small, but it's kind of embarrassing. It's like not smart, to just say the least. It's other people's lives. It's lives, things that already happened in the past. Some people were the ones that I know personally. Others, I don't know who they are. I don't know. I have no idea. And I actually see their faces in my dreams. It's not like dreams I would have before. It's one of my cousins, actual cousins, Gabriella. She had the power. She started messing around with that. She made me dream of like the future, like actually the next day. But I couldn't see whose people faces. They were just they represented somebody else. So I never saw anybody's a face or stuff like that. And it was the next day, and it happened for like a week or 2 weeks. I would get these dreams and became nightmares. When reality would happen the next day, it would just it would perplex me. I was in a state of shock. I didn't know what was going on. It was creepy and stormy. And I realized it's not too menacing. I'll be all right. I just I gotta. If it happens, it happens, and then it went away. Like when the fear went away, the dreams went away. But that I had in a year that my grandmother passed away. My grandfather supposedly passed away the next year. But when she passed away, I was experiencing that whole time for like a week or 2 weeks. I was on Stickum back then when Stickum was around. It's another video chat site. But those days are gone. And another time it happened in like 2019 or 2020. I had it for a couple of days. And I was working into beer delivery. And we had, I would prep, but then also I would check the paperwork, if the amount added up. And it was just something I had a dream about a number, 20 or 21. And it just said 19 on the paper. And I was like, didn't I see that in my dream? I said, hey, isn't this? And I counted like beers. But it was very rarely that would make that mistake. And, my manager started smiling. Oh, what would we do without you? Like, I don't know if he knew that, but it was like very bizarre. It's like, I dreamt that were correct. And rarely I checked the numbers because it's like, it's the amount they put. It's like if it's like that, it's like that. It's something about the way that I figured it out. But if it wasn't for that dream, I wouldn't have known it. Very odd and creepy. When I catch that, it wasn't just that. The whole day, I was experiencing like very weakness. And I thought I was gonna pass out. I don't know why I had these thoughts of like it was someone in jail that got bruised in the face, got severely beat up, with dark brown hair. I thought it was gonna be Death Show too. I thought I was experiencing. Maybe now I'm starting to think maybe it was that day he was channeling or something like that. I don't know who the guy was, but some people told me he deserved it. We're gonna get him, or something like that. I didn't know who that was, and I started experiencing. And I was saying, is that me? Or started saying, no. Well, I guess those people, right? I don't know who he was, but it just, that day ended, and it was a long day, and it just like I couldn't talk to anybody like. It just people even right now I talk about it, people might not even talk about it. One person talked about it. The one person talked about it way before that, and then he started pretending I'm a schizophrenic because I walk fast paced. I don't hold on work out, And that guy just like he talked about this clairvoyance thing and this quantum frequency. There's being a government patent, and they've been doing that for like 70s, and people get this ear sound in their left ear or right ear. He had a sound for 10 years, just like. And he's like, oh, when you hear the voices, he says voices, like it's thoughts in your mind. Oh, that's the worst because people can mess with you. I think he was lying. I think he was lying about that. Because I think, he receives that as well. People communicate like that, But yeah, it just, there's different, forms of senses like that and relaying messages. And, if you have this sense of sight, people say, oh, I saw that. You saw that? Or like, was it a perception in your mind or something? Like I was sitting in that room when you had a perception of me, like, being around my cat. Did you actually see that? We actually, channeling? Or did you like transport over here or something like that? Because seeing is with your eyesight, You might have a vision, you might have a thought process, but that's not really seeing. It's also the way people word it like that.